Hey everyone, it's George from Blockchain DXB and today is the 5th of October 2023 and to be honest guys, there is not much going on in the world of Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies so far as the price is concerned, but so far as regulation is concerned, there is some massive update and looks like the SEC is definitely losing its ground and we have two news which is kind of going against US Security and Exchange Commission, so it looks like the score is Crypto 2 and US Security and Commission 0, so we'll definitely go ahead and discuss what both the news is all about. Now, one news has to do with Coinbase and the second news has to do with Ripple. Now, look guys, regulations are definitely needed as long as they protect investors and consumers, but at the same time, regulations should not stifle innovation. So we'll definitely go ahead and discuss what that news is all about. Now, look guys, this part of time it is not necessarily sure that Ripple will be winning the case, but it is definitely leading towards that. And lawyers on both the sides are giving their thoughts and opinion on the case regarding Ripple versus SEC. So we'll definitely go ahead and discuss that. Now look guys, a few weeks ago I did talk about the US Department of Treasury. They sanctioned 8 wallets and that is because of illegal fentanyl. And there is an update to that and looks like they have sanctioned more crypto wallets. Now look guys, using cryptocurrencies or even fiat currencies for illicit activities is definitely not right. And because of the open nature of cryptocurrencies, it is definitely possible to go ahead and sanction these wallets. So I'll definitely go ahead and discuss the US Department of Treasury's role in sanctioning these crypto wallets. But the big question is guys, are there possibility for notorious actors to go ahead and use physical cash? Definitely yes, and I'm really curious to check what amount of cash was involved in illicit transfer in comparison to, let's say, cryptocurrencies, and I wouldn't be surprised if the numbers would be shocking, so we'll definitely go ahead and touch base on that news. And guys, regarding Singapore, I believe for the third or fourth consecutive day, I have one positive development, and that is to do in the world of RebelNet or XRP, and looks like they have received a payment license in Singapore, so definitely positive news. And guys, listen, if you're a fan of Elon Musk, he definitely said something extremely loud, and that is to do with fiat currency. So essentially what happened is that one of the Twitters did actually put up a random tweet asking what is a scam, and Elon Musk did actually reply that fiat currency is a scam. So we'll definitely go ahead and touch base on that. So definitely interesting news, and it's no surprise guys that Elon Musk is definitely outspoken. Now whether you're a fan of Elon Musk or not, in this case I definitely think he might be right. And guys, like we do in every Crypto and Coffee a Day podcast, I'm going to be discussing two news from Dubai, UAE and the Middle East. Now the first news guys is all the way from Egypt and it has to do with artificial intelligence, and the news is that Egyptian AI startup called Zentela, they have raised $3.4 million and they have raised the funds from Saudi investors. Now look guys, what I've been noticing since the last few months, whenever I'm trying to look out for news regarding Bitcoin, cryptocurrencies, metaverse or even artificial intelligence, 80% of the news is surfacing from the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, and I wouldn't be surprised, let's say 3 to 5 years down the line, Saudi Arabia does take the lead in the blockchain and even artificial intelligence space. But in today's episode, we'll definitely go ahead and touch base on the news from the startup called Zentela, all the way from Egypt. And guys, the second news is an episode that I plan to release, and it is called as Web 3.0 is just hype. Now listen guys, I've been in the Bitcoin space since 2013, and I've seen different narratives being built up. Now one of the narratives which I absolutely do not like is that of Web 3.0, and all of a sudden people have become experts in LinkedIn overnight. And what I truly feel guys, a lot of them truly don't understand the limited use case of blockchain technology and even Web 3.0. So what I plan to do is later on in the month, I plan to release a standalone episode called as Web 3.0 is just hype. And in today's episode, I'll go ahead and touch base on what is it that you can expect in that episode. Now listen guys, whether you like what I'm saying or if you don't like what I'm saying, what I'd really recommend you to do is drop me an email to info@blockchaindxb.com and I'll be more than happy to get you on my podcast and maybe release an episode as long as we go ahead and have a healthy debate on that. So let me know what your thoughts are regarding Web 3.0. So quite a lot to cover guys in today's episode, so let's kickstart with it right away. Welcome to the Crypto and Coffee at 8, the daily podcast that keeps you up to date on all latest developments in the world of cryptocurrencies, blockchain and NFTs. Join us Monday to Friday as you kick off your day with a cup of coffee and a deep dive into the exciting and rapidly evolving world of digital assets. We'll cover the latest news and trends in the cryptocurrency and blockchain space, as well as delve into the growing world of NFTs or non-fungible tokens and metaverse. Plus, we'll keep you updated on the latest developments from Dubai, UAE and the wider Middle East region. Whether you're a seasoned crypto enthusiast or just getting started, Crypto and Coffee at 8 has something for you. Our expert host will provide insight and analysis on the most important topics in the industry and help you stay up to date on the latest developments. We'll bring you interviews with leading figures in the crypto and blockchain space and explore the ways in which these technologies are changing the world around us, from the impact on traditional financial systems to the potential for revolutionizing industries and transforming societies. We'll cover it all on Crypto and Coffee at 8. So tune in and join us for a daily dose of Crypto and Coffee at 8, and let's stay ahead of the curve together. We'll start your day off right with the most important news and insights from the world of cryptocurrency, blockchain and the metaverse, and help you navigate this exciting and rapidly evolving landscape. In Crypto and Coffee at 8, the daily podcast covers the latest developments in the world of cryptocurrency, blockchain and the metaverse. We'll also bring you updates on the latest news from Dubai, UAE and wider Middle East region. This also includes a range of topics such as developments in the local and blockchain industry, including new projects and initiatives, regulatory updates, and policies related to cryptocurrency and blockchain in the region, local and regional events and conferences focused on crypto and blockchain, interviews with leading figures in Dubai, UAE and Middle East crypto and blockchain community, coverage of any significant news or events related to cryptocurrency and blockchain in the region. By covering these local and regional developments, in addition to the wider world of cryptocurrency and blockchain, Crypto and Coffee at 8 aims to provide a comprehensive overview of the industry and its impact on the Dubai, UAE and Middle East region. Now before we kickstart today's episode, I have an important message, so check this out. Thank you to our sponsors for being part of the Blockchain DXB journey. Firstly, Advanced Media. Advanced Media, guys, is the largest distributor of professional video, photo, broadcast and cinematic equipment and accessories in the Middle East and MENA region. With over 2 decades of experience, Advanced Media is now the largest distributor in the Middle East, representing more than 100 recognizable brands, including brands such as Zeiss, DJI, Hasselblad, Red and Rode. As a matter of fact, guys, the very mic that I'm recording is being sponsored by Advanced Media as well, and Advanced Media has showrooms in Saudi Arabia and services as well. Looks like they're definitely taking the Middle East by storm. And here's the beautiful thing, guys, they're taking corporate social responsibility very seriously, and they're focusing on 3 P's, that is people, planet and prosperity. Now listen, guys, if you do want to find out more information regarding the statement of corporate social responsibility, check out the website, that is www.amt.tv. And here's the beautiful thing, guys, they also want to be a leader and set an example and reputation as a pioneer and member of the community. And in doing so, guys, they also have an AMT scholarship with SAE Institute in Dubai, UAE, so definitely check it out. And also, guys, Advanced Media is committed to persistently developing, organizing and hosting training workshops, seminars and community events that educate, inform and familiarize consumers with new equipment and the latest technological advances. So listen, guys, do one thing. If you do want to support this channel, go to the website, that is www.amt.tv, and follow the social media channels as well. All of the details are in the show notes below. Next, Shalhoub Group, a luxury retail and distributor which is headquartered in Dubai, are getting into the NFT game. And here's the deal, guys. They are not just getting into the NFT and metaverse space, they are going to be shaping the NFT, metaverse and Web 3.0 space, which I believe is excellent not just for Dubai and UAE, but also for the global cryptocurrency community as well. And guys, Shalhoub Group's Web 3.0 sneaker brand called Soulmates revealed their first NFT collection on the 12th of April. Now what is really interesting is that it's called as Soulmates, so it's spelled as S for sugar, O for orange, L for Larry. Now instead of E, they've replaced it with Web3, and it is the number 3, mates.xyz. And guys, listen, Shalhoub Group has over half a century's worth of experience in luxury goods, and then getting into the NFT space is a massive deal. Now if you're a sneakerhead, you definitely need to check out soulmates.xyz. And once again, guys, the number is 3 instead of an E. It has all the information, and in the show notes below, you'll get all the information. And listen, guys, if you want to be an early adopter, you can also pre-mint it at www.dreamin.xyz/soulmates. So definitely check it out. And they have a Discord community as well. And guys, Nick, who is the head of corporate innovation at Charlotte Group and also the co-founder of Soulmates, has a WhatsApp group where he constantly provides updates in the area of NFTs, Metaverse, and Web 3.0. So guys, check out soulmates.xyz and be part of the Soulmates OG NFT that is definitely going to shape the industry. Next, listen guys, there are 3 things I'm absolutely passionate about. One is death metal, ice cold beer, and the third one is extreme sports, and that is Tough Mudder. And Tough Mudder, guys, is a series of obstacle and mud runs that'll push your physical and mental limits without the pressure of competition. It's essentially a community that is built on teamwork and overcoming obstacles, where stepping outside of your comfort zone is the actual reward. And my big question is, guys, when was the last time you did something wild for the very first time? Now listen guys, Tough Mudder Arabia has a formidable team, and one of the events does actually take place on the 14th of October. And Tough Mudder Arabia, guys, is putting across a series of events this year and next year. And the first big event takes place on Fujairah Adventure Park on the 14th of October. So look at the show notes below. You'll find the registration link. And if you're someone who's in Dubai, there are 2 days of back-to-back Tough Mudder events as well that takes place on the 11th and the 12th of November at the iconic Jebel Ali race. And finally guys, in the second quarter of 2024, there's a massive event taking place in Ras Al Khaimah, and that takes place on the 20th of April 2024. Now listen guys, if you want a season pass, it is at a discounted price. So look at the show notes below for the discounted price. And guess what guys, they have 2 different distances as well, 5 kilometers and 10 kilometers. And if you have kids, get your kids along. So check out the show notes below to find out more information regarding Tough Mudder Arabia. Next, Startup OI is global one-tech platform for tech. It offers global high-paying tech jobs with flexibility in working time and location, global free tech events, and tech networks to connect with global like-minded engineers. A brilliant platform to listen to the tech experts in Metaverse and to grab their insights. Now listen, all you have to do is download the app Startup OI. If you're using an Android version, go to Google Store and App Store for iOS devices. Alternatively, you can also click on the show notes below to download Startup OI. Next, guys, listen, if you're into fitness, if you're into adventure, if you want to do something wild but still want to keep your health in check, there is a new podcast in town, a podcast focusing on obstacle course race in the Middle East. The podcast is called the Race Pace Podcast. So check out the Race Pace Podcast across all leading platforms. And the Race Pace Podcast is a peer-to-peer community-driven podcast where they talk all about obstacle course race in the Middle East, from Sandstorm to Spartan Race, from Tough Mudder to Desert Warrior Challenge, and also the Government Gov Games, and quite a lot more. The podcast has interviews with athletes locally and internationally to get inside scoop on how athletes prepare for obstacle course race. In the podcast, they also talk about interesting stories on why they are motivated to do obstacle course race. And that's not all. They also plan to release 7 NFTs. And these NFTs are no ordinary. These NFTs will represent every emirate in the UAE. And listen guys, these NFTs are going to be absolutely massive. So do one thing, go to Spotify, go to iTunes, go to any leading podcasting platform and search for Rise in the Obstacle Course Race podcast. And finally guys, not your keys, not your crypto. If you have dabbled with cryptocurrencies and now are seriously getting to protect your cryptocurrencies, there is no better way to protect it by using a hardware wallet. And this is where Ledger Wallet kicks in. And Ledger Wallets are hardware cryptocurrency wallets made by Ledger, a company headquartered in Paris, France. And Ledger's hardware wallets are multi-currency wallets that are used to store private keys for cryptocurrencies offline. And Ledger offers 2 hardware wallets, the Ledger Nano and Ledger Nano X wallets. They are world-class experts with extensive crypto security backgrounds. They continuously look for vulnerabilities in Ledger products in a constant effort to improve the level of security. Now, in today's world, securing these digital assets is a critical challenge, and this is where Ledger kicks in. So click the link below to buy your hardware wallet and support this podcast. It is a brilliant way to support this podcast. So what are you waiting for? The link is in the show notes below. Now guys, since you've taken care of that, let's kickstart by looking at the global cryptocurrency market. Now since the last 24 hours, not much has happened in the world of global cryptocurrencies. There is definitely drastic movement in decentralized exchange. We'll definitely touch base on that. But if you look at the global cryptocurrency market, guys, as of today, 5th of October, it is at $1.09 trillion. And since the last 24 hours, it is marginally up by 0.62%. Now listen guys, I'm really curious to check what happens over the weekend Because what was supposed to happen is that the US federal government was supposed to be on a shutdown, and because of that, the price of Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies should have pumped up. But at the last minute, on the 30th of September, there was a stopgap arrangement being made, and because of that, in an idealistic world, the prices of Bitcoin and cryptocurrency should have gone down. But what happened, guys? Bitfinex did actually transfer roughly $100 million in 2 batches. Now, could it be possible that because of that, the price of Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies has bumped up? Most likely, yes, but this is just a theory. Now, what I really am curious to check, guys, what happens in this particular weekend. In an idealistic world, the prices of Bitcoin and cryptocurrency should go down, but the cryptocurrency world is absolutely crazy, isn't it? And as I always say, guys, all price predictions are 100% right, 50% of the time. So what I'd really recommend you to do is over the weekend, that is Saturday and Sunday, keep a track on 3 metrics. That is the volume of stable coins, the 24-hour trading volume, and also the volume in decentralized exchanges. Now, if you do want to check the volume on decentralized exchange, you can go to defilama.com. And if there is a massive anomaly, guys, what I'd really urge you to do is go to the individual explorer and then check it yourself. I wouldn't be surprised if this weekend we might see some massive anomaly. Now, so far as the total cryptocurrency market volume is concerned, since the last 24 hours, it is at $31.01 billion. And since the last 24 hours, it has gone down by 13.60%. The volume on DeFi, guys, is ridiculously low, down to $2.52 billion. And DeFi, guys, as of today, is accounting for 8.12% of the total crypto market 24-hour volume. And later on, guys, before we look at the king of all kings, that is Bitcoin, what I'm going to do is I'm going to be sharing out some numbers regarding the total value locked and also the number of chains that they are operating in. Because so far as total value locked is concerned, Lido has always been dominating with $14.58 billion, and we'll go ahead and look at different protocols and how many chains they're operating in as well. Now, so far as the overall total value locked is concerned, it is at $38.55 billion, and guys, the decentralized exchange to centralized exchange dominance today has gone down to 15.88%. Now look, guys, since the last few months, on Tuesdays or Wednesdays, the decentralized to centralized exchange for some odd reason pumps up. I really am not sure what is going on, but the following day and especially on the weekend it tends to go down, and this trend has been going on only for the past 2 months. Now let's run through the 24-hour volume of decentralized exchanges, because Uniswap's volume has gone down by almost half. Uniswap is at $584.24 million, and yesterday, guys, I do believe Uniswap's volume was over $1 billion mark, isn't it? So to be honest, guys, I'm really curious to check what is it that happens on Tuesdays and Wednesdays. Are the exchanges who are trying to dump their coin or transfer their cryptocurrencies? I really am not sure. Now the volume of PancakeSwap, which is currently number 2nd, is at $199.54 million. Thorchain is number 3rd at $173.84 million. Dodo, guys, is number 4th at $137.21 million, and finally Mavic Protocol at $133.94 million. Now, guys, let's quickly run through the volume of stablecoins. It is at $33.71 billion, and stablecoins, guys, accounts for 93.90% of the total crypto market 24-hour volume. And it is a bit strange, guys, to be honest, that this week we haven't seen any news regarding stablecoins besides the news regarding Tether USDT, where Bitfinex actually dumped $100 million in 2 batches. Now, so far as the volume of Tether USDT is concerned, it is at $28.53 billion. And guys, look at this number. The total cryptocurrency market volume is $31.01 billion. And out of that, Tether USDT accounts for $28.53 billion. So it looks like Tether USDT is used quite a lot, isn't it? And could it be possible Tether USDT is the reason why the prices of Bitcoin and cryptocurrency has bumped up, and the global cryptocurrency market right now is at $1.09 trillion. And before the Fed government announcement, the global cryptocurrency market was on the verge of going below the $1 trillion mark. Definitely an interesting area to look at. The Circle USDC's volume is at $2.76 billion, and finally Binance BUSD's volume is $648 million. Now let me quickly run through the market cap, 24-hour trading volume and dominance between Bitcoin and Ethereum. Now Bitcoin's market cap as of today is $540 billion, and Ethereum's market cap is well below the $200 billion mark. It is at $197 billion. Now look, guys, just few weeks ago, there was a very high possibility of Bitcoin's market cap to go below the $500 billion mark. But fast forward to 5th of October, because of the news regarding the Fed government shutdown, which did not happen, the market cap is at $540 billion. Now, if you look at the 24-hour trading volume of Bitcoin and Ethereum, it is not doing too great either. Bitcoin's 24-hour trading volume is $11.15 billion, whereas Ethereum is at $5.12 billion. The dominance of Bitcoin has definitely picked up pace, and as of today it is at 49.70%, whereas Ethereum is at 18.20%. Now guys, let me just quickly run through the total value locked across all DeFi protocols, and I'm also going to be sharing on the different number of chains that they are currently working in, because look guys, Lido is clearly dominating so far as the total value locked is concerned, with $14.58 billion, and right now they are working on 5 different chains. Also guys, it's really important to know that Lido has been in existence only after Ethereum transitioned from proof of work to proof of stake, and before that it was MakerDAO who was always dominating so far as the total value locked is concerned. But if you look at the number second so far as the total value locked is concerned, it is Howey, and $4.81 billion is locked in this protocol, and they are currently operating in 9 different chains. Third one is Just Land, and the total value locked is $4.46 billion, and they are currently working only on one chain, and I'm pretty much sure that might be Ethereum. The fourth one guys is MakerDAO, and the total value locked is $4.55 billion, and that is only working on one chain, and I'm pretty much sure that just might be Ethereum. And few months ago guys, I talked about how the founder of MakerDAO was planning to have a final fork called as Endgame, and most likely the code base might be transferred to Solana, so it's going to be really interesting to see how that news develops. And the fifth one guys, so far as total value locked is concerned, is Uniswap, and its total value locked is $3.17 billion, and Uniswap guys is currently working on 9 different chains. Now guys, before we look at the king of all kings, that is Bitcoin, let me just briefly run through a protocol called as Ravencoin. And to be honest guys, at one point of time, the Ravencoin army did make quite a lot of buzz in the cryptocurrency world, and I very specifically remember a lot of the cryptocurrency influencers, they used to talk about Ravencoin quite a lot. Now unfortunately, at this point of time, it is definitely not in the top 100 via CoinMarketCap as well. So let me go ahead and very briefly explain what Ravencoin is, because Ravencoin was created by a team of experienced individuals, including Bruce Fenton, Tron Black, and Joel Waite. And these team members guys have a strong background in both business and technology, making them well equipped to develop and promote the project. So what is it that makes Ravencoin unique? So there are 4 factors that I'd like to talk about, that is issuance schedule, faster transaction, higher coin supply, and mining algorithm. Now so far as issuance schedule is concerned, unlike Bitcoin guys, Ravencoin has a modified issuance schedule. It rewards miners with 5,000 RVN per block, that is its token symbol, which helps incentivize mining and network security. And so far as faster transaction is concerned, Ravencoin has a faster block time of just 1 minute, which means transactions are processed more quickly compared to Bitcoin's approximately 10-minute block time. And they also have a higher coin supply. Now mind you guys, Bitcoin only has a cap limit of 21 million coins, but so far as Ravencoin is concerned, they have increased it to 21 billion coins, and this allows for broader tokenization and asset creation of the platform. And because of that guys, because the supply is too much, I'm pretty much sure the prices won't go high, nowhere close to even 1/10 of what Bitcoin is. Now so far as the mining algorithm is concerned, to prevent centralization of mining by specialized hardware such as ASICs, Raven uses KAPOW mining algorithm, also called as KAPOW, and this algorithm guys is designed to GPU friendly, making it accessible to a wide range of miners. And this news guys did make quite a lot of news, and some of the OGs in the space did actually promote this quite a lot. And so far as asset creation and use is concerned, Ravencoin's primary focus is to enable the creation and transfer of assets on the blockchain, and these assets can represent various things, including physical assets like gold, virtual goods, share in projects, and quite a lot more. And to create these tokenized assets, users need to burn RVN coins, and this process helps to ensure that the creation of assets is not cost-free and encourages responsible use of the platform. Now look guys, there's also further development in the project, and Ravencoins do have plans for future updates in the protocol, and these updates may include integrated messaging and voting systems, expanding its utility beyond simple asset creation and transfer as well. Now so far as distribution is concerned, Ravencoin emphasizes a fair and open distribution model. There was no pre-mining, initial coin offering, or reserve coin for developers or founders, and this approach, according to them, ensures the distribution of coins is equitable. Now so far security is concerned guys, as I mentioned earlier, they use something called as KPOW, and Ravencoin security is based on decentralized nature, something similar to Bitcoin isn't it, and it relies on proof of mining algorithm to secure the network. And so far as KPOW, or proof of mining algorithm, is concerned, it is designed to resist centralization by specialized mining hardware. Now mind you guys, all things being said, in 2020 they did actually suffer a hack, and there was a known hack of Raven blockchain, and during this attack, hackers created a significant number of RVN coins. However, this incident did not impact existing coin holders, and to be honest guys, at one point of time I very specifically remember the Ravencoin army was getting stronger and stronger. So essentially guys, Ravencoin is a cryptocurrency platform that focuses on facilitating creation and transfer of various assets on the blockchain, and it offers unique features including a modified issuance schedule, faster transaction times, and a larger coin supply, making it suitable for a wide range of use cases beyond traditional cryptocurrencies. Now what are your thoughts on it guys? I would definitely love to do some more research on this. Now guys, let's look at the king of all kings, that is Bitcoin. And as of today guys, the price of Bitcoin is $27,307. And since the last 24 hours, it is down by 2.33%. And since the last 7 days, it is down by 4.04%. Ethereum guys is at $1,651. And since the last 24 hours, it is down by 1.26%. But since the last 7 days, it is up by 3.94%. Now look guys, if we do find out some news regarding Ethereum's future ETF, I wouldn't be surprised for the next 24 to 48 hours. Since the announcement, the price of Ethereum would drastically pump up by maybe $400 and cross the $2,000 mark or maybe even $2,500 mark. And because of that news, it will also pump up the price of Bitcoin as well. So keep an eye on any announcement regarding Ethereum future ETF. And guys, listen, it's so critical to understand in this 45-day stopgap arrangement, could it be possible that the Security and Exchange Commission goes ahead and makes certain decisions? Definitely possible. Now so far as Binance BNB coin is concerned, it is $213, and since the last 24 hours it is down by 0.97%, and since the last 7 days it is up by 0.48%. Now look guys, there is massive news circulating right now, and that is the drama between crypto and Security and Exchange Commission, and looks like right now the score is crypto 2 and US Security and Exchange Commission 0. So let me go ahead and explain the first news that deals with Coinbase. So the news essentially is that the US Security and Exchange Commission has formally requested that a federal judge reject Coinbase's motion to dismiss a lawsuit brought by a regulatory agency, and the SEC is claiming that Coinbase has been aware from the outset that the cryptocurrencies it offers are considered securities when they meet the criteria of Howey test. Now listen guys, it's so critical to understand the Howey test. What I'd really recommend you to do is just go to YouTube and type in Howey test. Essentially, there are 4 criteria in order to go ahead and pass or fail the Howey test. Now, so far as this news is concerned, the regulatory body also alleges that Coinbase acknowledged this fact in his submission to the US Security and Exchange Commission. Now, in the show notes below, guys, you can actually go ahead and see the official filing. And Paul Grail, who is the chief legal officer for Coinbase, did actually mention via Twitter. And what he actually stated, it is the same strategy which is used by the US Security and Exchange Commission over and over again. And guys, listen, in a filing on the 3rd of October, the US Security and Exchange Commission hit back at claims in Coinbase's dismissal motion and reiterated its belief that some of the cryptocurrencies listed on its platform were investment contracts under the Howey test, subject to SEC regulation. And look guys, it's going to be really critical to see how this news develops. Now if you're an investor at Coinbase, I'm pretty much sure you would kind of take it in a positive way. Now listen guys, there is another news, and this is to do with the Ripple case, and that is one of the reasons why there is mixed emotions and mixed reactions from lawyers on both the sides. So let me go ahead and explain what the second news is all about. So what happened guys, in a court order dated 3rd of October, Judge Torres rejected the SEC's motion, stating that the regulatory body did not sufficiently demonstrate that there were pivotal legal issues at stake or substantial reasons for differing opinions on the matter. But here's where it gets interesting guys, because lawyers on both the sides debate over Ripple's case after rejection of SEC's motions for appeal. Crypto lawyers and Jeremy Hogan described the recent order as a disaster for the US Security and Exchange Commission, but at the same time, other legal commentators are urging the community to temper its excitement for now, and it's going to be really critical guys to get a clear and concise information on what the actual outcome is. So let me go ahead and explain this in detail regarding the legal situation involving Ripple and the SEC. Now the legal battle guys is between Ripple, which is a cryptocurrency company, and they have been facing legal actions from the US Security and Exchange Commission, and the SEC alleges that Ripple's XRP cryptocurrency is a security and should have been registered as such, and this legal dispute has been ongoing for a couple of years. Now so far as the recent decision is concerned, a judge named Annalisa Torres recently made a decision related to the case, and the SEC wanted to appeal certain issues in the middle of the trial, which is called as interlocutory appeal. But here's what happened guys, Judge Torres denied this request, so at this moment there are mixed emotions, and legal experts and commentators have varying opinions about the significance of this decision. Some see it as a positive development for Ripple, while others believe it may not be as important as it may seem, and one lawyer from Consensus actually stated that it was expected for the judge to deny SEC's appeal at this stage of the trial, because what happens, guys, is an interlocutory appeal during a trial are typically not granted unless the exceptional cases, and we need to be aware about this point of view as well. But listen, guys, there are some lawyers like Jeremy Hogan, which I mentioned earlier, saw that this decision as a disaster for the Security and Exchange Commission, suggesting that it was a setback for them. Now, from a legal point, guys, not all experts agree with the assessment, and they have actually cautioned advice, and some experts have cautioned against excessive enthusiasm about the ruling, and they have actually pointed out that the SEC's appeal was denied for now, but the SEC could still appeal after the trial concludes, so at this point of time it is definitely not a final victory for Ripple. And guys, I'm also looking at the price of XRP. Unfortunately, the prices haven't moved so much. Now, so far as the drama is concerned, there is also a possibility of a potential future appeal, and one expert explained that if the SEC decides to appeal later, they would need to appeal everything at once after the trial ends. This means they can't keep appealing different aspects of the case separately. And so far as the significance of Ripple's case is concerned, some legal experts believe that judge's decision may be important for Ripple than it initially appears, and they argue that SEC now has a weaker factual basis for a future appeal. Now look, guys, could it be possible for Supreme Court to kick in as well? Because if the SEC does decide to appeal again, it might actually end up in the Supreme Court, as there may be not major legal questions left to decide, and then, guys, it would largely involve applying existing laws to the complex facts of the case. And Brad Garlinghouse, guys, did actually mention via Twitter. Now, Brad Garlinghouse, guys, does seem optimistic about it, so it's going to be really interesting to see as and when this news develops. So essentially, in essence, this legal battle is still ongoing. While the recent decisions may favor Ripple, it is not the final word. And it's also important to note that the US Security and Exchange Commission could still appeal later, and the ultimate outcome of the case at this point of time is still uncertain. But to be honest, at this point of time, it does give some hope to the cryptocurrency world, isn't it? Now, guys, let's discuss another massive news, and this is regarding OFAC sanctioning some more wallets. So essentially, the news is that the OFAC, that is the Office of Foreign Asset Control of the US Department of Treasury, has sanctioned crypto wallets allegedly connected to individuals and companies involved in producing fentanyl. Now, the official news by the US Department of Treasury is in the show notes below. And guys, listen, China-based chemical companies often attempt to evade law enforcement by using reshippers in the United States, false return labels, false invoices, fraudulent postages, and packaging that conceals the true contents of the parcels and the identity of the distributors. And in addition, guys, these companies tend to use cryptocurrency transactions to conceal these identities and locations and movements of the funds. And because of that, the OFAC has definitely got and taken a bold decision. Now listen, guys, if you're into US politics, there was a recent debate among Republicans, and one of the topics that everyone agreed upon was the illegal use of fentanyl, and a lot of them did actually blame the Chinese companies. And look, guys, whether you're a Republican or a Democrat, you definitely need to agree that Chinese-based chemical companies are doing something illegal, and having things like fentanyl across US is definitely not ideal. Now, so far as the US filing is concerned, it actually states that Kung Song Lee, who is I believe 32 years old, and Chuan Chen, who is 33 years old, both of them allegedly maintain cryptocurrency wallets for the remittance of payments of precursor chemicals, and Shonggon Chen, who I believe is 30 years old, is also alleged receiving Western Union payments on behalf of Herbie Shangao. And in the official news, guys, there is also a biotech company called as Hubei Guolang, which is essentially a chemical company located in a province in China, and they were charged in 2-count indictment along with Chinese national Wei Zheng, who I believe is 28 years old, and the filing actually states that they run the daily operations of the company and they use cryptocurrency wallets that accept payments from the company's sale of fentanyl. Now look, guys, what I'd really recommend you to do is make sure you go ahead and track these wallets. Now listen, guys, my big question is, if they are not using cryptocurrencies, I'm pretty much sure they're using physical cash, right? And I'm really curious to check the comparison, let's say between physical cash and let's say between cryptocurrencies. And I wouldn't be surprised if the transaction done in physical cash is significantly higher than cryptocurrencies. Now listen, guys, could it be possible that using these cryptocurrency wallets, these individuals can randomly send out cryptocurrencies to politicians? That would create a lot of drama, isn't it? but I'm definitely hoping that they don't do that. Now guys, let's discuss some news regarding Singapore. And guys, to be honest, this might be the fourth time in a row I'm talking about news regarding Singapore, and this is a positive news for Ripple. And Brad Garlinghouse, the CEO of Ripple, did actually mention via Twitter that in just 4 months after they received in-principle approval from MAS, that is Monetary Authority of Singapore, they have now secured the full major payment institution license for digital payment token services in Singapore. So definitely positive news. Now listen guys, it's really critical to understand that when you talk about Ripple, it is a software and there is no need for using XRP, but definitely positive news, I guess. Now guys, let's discuss some drama about the richest man in the world, and that is Elon Musk, and he's also the CEO of Tesla, SpaceX, Neuralink, and quite a lot of other projects as well. So what happened is that one of the users did actually mention via Twitter, what's a scam that's so normalized that we don't even realize it's a scam anymore? And to that Elon Musk actually replied, fiat currency. Now look guys, what I'd really recommend you to do is go to YouTube, and Simon Dixon has put up a video called the 6 different forms of money. Definitely go and check it out, and that'll give you an idea on how money is created. Definitely powerful stuff. And the fact is guys, a lot of them don't really understand how money is created. Now I'm not saying that what Elon Musk is saying right, but I'm definitely agreeing to what he's saying. Now guys, let's discuss 2 news from Dubai, UAE and the Middle East. And the first news guys is all the way from Egypt, and that is to do with a startup called Intella, and they have raised $3.4 million from Saudi investors. And what I'm going to be sharing my thoughts and opinion on how it can merge with blockchain and cryptocurrencies. As so far as this news is concerned, Egyptian Ayla startup did actually secure $3.4 million in pre-seed funding, and leading investors in the funding round include Hala Ventures and Waid Ventures, which is Aramco's venture arm, and the funding aims to support Intella's expansion into the Saudi market. And Intella guys plans to develop AI models tailored for the Middle East and North Africa region, and the company is relocating its headquarters to Saudi Arabia to be part of the growing tech and AI landscape. And Noor Tahir, the CEO and co-founder, sees Saudi Arabia as a hub for technological advances. Now listen guys, as I mentioned earlier in the beginning of the episode as well, every time I'm seeing news regarding Bitcoin, blockchain and cryptocurrencies, or even artificial intelligence, out of 10 news, 8 news are all the way from the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. And I wouldn't be surprised, let's say in the next 3 to 5 years, Saudi Arabia turns out to be the leader, not just in the Middle East, but probably in the entire world as well. Now, so far as the startup Intella is concerned, Intella's voice system achieves an impressive 95.73% accuracy rate in Arabic audio testing, and this accuracy rate surpasses industry giants like Google and IBM Watson as well. Nomar Mansour, the co-founder and CTO, emphasizes the focus on advanced audio analytics, and Ali Abu Said of Hala Ventures backs Intella's vision for connecting AI progress with Arab-speaking community needs, and Intella guys aims to lead in Arabic voice technology, and the funding aligns with the MENA region with global tech advancements, so definitely positive news. And Sanabil 500, an InSeeds alumni angel network, also contributed to the funding, and the investment is a significant boost for Saudi Arabia's technology sector. And Intella's move to Saudi Arabia signifies its commitment to the market, and the funding guys supports the development of artificial intelligence solutions for regional audiences. And Intella's voice system demonstrates impressive accuracy, as I mentioned earlier, in Arabic audio processing, and the company's goal is to bridge the gap between global AI progress and the needs of the Arab-speaking community. Now look guys, the big question is, how does blockchain and cryptocurrency merge with this news? Now let me go ahead and share 4 points where I think blockchain and cryptocurrency merges with this news. Now the first one is to do with blockchain security and funding. Intella could use blockchain technology to enhance the transparency and security for its funding transactions, and more importantly guys, by using blockchain smart contracts, they can ensure that investment process is tamper-proof and efficient as well. The second one is cryptocurrency for cross-border transaction, and Intella's expansion into Saudi Arabia may involve cross-border financial transactions, right? And cryptocurrencies like Bitcoin or stablecoins could streamline these transactions, reducing cost and increase speed. And the third point, guys, is blockchain-based data security. Now, given Intella's focus on artificial intelligence and data analytics, I feel that implementing blockchain technology for data security can ensure the integrity and confidentiality of the extensive Arabic audio data they collect, and they can even use that to analyze it as well. And finally, guys, the fourth point is tokenization for artificial intelligence development. So what Intella can do is they could possibly consider tokenization of AI models or data as a way to incentivize contributors and stakeholders, and this would actually involve creating utility tokens or NFTs to represent ownership or access to specific AI datasets or technologies. Now, what are your thoughts, guys? Mention them in the comments below. Now, the second news, guys, is more of an episode that I plan to release where I'm going to be sharing my thoughts and opinion on why Web 3.0 is just a hype. But what I'm going to be doing is I'm just going to lay down the foundation on what I'm going to be talking about in the episode. Now, listen, guys, you might disagree to it, and if you do want to have a healthy debate, drop me an email to info@blockchaindxb.com. Because listen, guys, it's going to be a standalone episode to discuss the hype versus actual use case of Web 3.0, and the episode will provide a comprehensive examination of Web 3.0, offer insights, critiques, and perspectives to help listeners better understand its potential and limitation. So I'm going to start and define what Web 3 is and what the evolution is from Web 1 and Web 2.0. And listen, guys, the whole terminology called Web 3.0 was actually turned by Dr. Gavin Wood going back to 2014, so I'll definitely go ahead and touch base on that. I'm also going to explain the key technologies like blockchain, decentralization or distributed, how I like to call it. Even we look at smart contracts, and I'm also going to be sharing the overview and excitement and buzz surrounding Web 3.0. Now look, guys, via LinkedIn, I've seen so many people become experts in Web 3.0 all of a sudden, and if you actually go through the history, they have just gotten into the cryptocurrency space as late as 2021 and some even as late as 2022, and in the profile they actually mention that they are speakers and leading tech speakers in the Web 3.0 space. Now in this episode, guys, I'm definitely going to touch base on that, and I'm also going to be exploring the grand promises made by so-called Web 3.0 advocates, and we'll be looking at examples of how Web 3.0 is portrayed as a transformative force in various industries. Now look, guys, as much as I hate saying this, the fact is centralized companies and centralized entities do perform better in terms of three things, that is time, cost, and quality. But in the episode, we'll discuss the potential benefits of increased privacy, security, and user control that Web3 promises to offer. But you also need to compare it, let's say, with the user experience. And in that episode, guys, I'll also be examining real-world application of Web 3.0, that is decentralized finance and NFTs as well. Now look, guys, I'm looking at the DeFi volumes on a daily basis, and to be honest, the numbers have got from bad to worse. And guys, I'm quite active in few of the Telegram groups as well. And here's the interesting bit, guys. I did actually post on Telegram that I do think that Web 3.0 is just hype. And if some of you guys want to go ahead and have a healthy debate, and you wouldn't be surprised, at least 11 to 14 of them did actually reply to me stating that they actually agree to what I'm saying, and they do feel a lot of the Web 3.0 is just hype, and a lot of the CEOs, CTOs, and founders are just using the hype around Web 3.0 to get more funding. And to be honest, guys, till date, I've just received 3 of them who said that they are willing to go out and debate on it. But at the same time, I've received at least 11 to 14 of them sending me a DM stating that they agree that Web 3.0 is just hype. Now in the episode, I'll definitely touch base on that. I'm also going to be analyzing the investment landscape in so-called Web 3.0 startups and projects. And look, guys, I've seen different narratives in the Bitcoin and blockchain space, so I'm definitely not liking what Web 3.0 is. And I'm also going to be sharing my thoughts and opinion if Web 3.0 can be used as a tool for funding without tangible results. And listen, guys, so far as Metaverse is concerned, 99% of investors have already lost money in Metaverse. And I do often say in my Metaverse Everything podcast, so far as Metaverse is concerned, a centralized entity will offer a much better user experience. Now, the idea of having Web 3.0 and distributed sounds cool, and that is what is used to go ahead and get funding from investors, venture capitals. Unfortunately, it will not work. Now, what I mean by saying that is, it will definitely work, but the user experience is definitely not going to be great. You need to have a 10x better user experience in order for people to switch from one existing systems to a new one. So we'll definitely touch base on that in the episode. And guys, what I also plan to do is maybe in future episodes, maybe have interviews with legal experts and policy makers regarding the challenges and potential solutions. But in the standalone episode, I'll definitely present criticism and skepticism from industry experts and analysts. And I'll also go and discuss whether the hype around Web 3.0 outweighs its actual impact. Now listen, guys, if you just got into the cryptocurrency space, you'll definitely not like what I'm saying, but a lot of the Bitcoin maximalists and even Elon Musk does actually state that there is nothing called as Web 3.0, and even Jack Dorsey, guys, the censorship king, did actually state that from Web 2, let's directly jump to Web 5.0. Now listen, guys, if you do want to have an healthy debate regarding Web 3.0, drop me an email to info@blockchaindxb.com. So those were the news, guys, from Crypto and Coffee Day from Blockchain DXB for the 5th of October. In case if you guys have any feedback or suggestions, drop me an email to info@blockchaindxb.com. check out my website www.blockchaindxp.com and also check out my other website area2071.com that talks everything about metaverse. And guys, if you like listening to this podcast, please click on the follow button, give it a 5-star rating and share the word across. Now for the next few minutes, it's going to be an Ask Me Anything series where you listeners can ask any questions regarding Bitcoin, blockchain, beyond blockchain, cryptocurrencies, NFTs, DeFi and metaverse. So let's get started with the Ask Me Anything series. Hey everyone, it's Josh from Blockchain DXP. You're listening to the Ask Me Anything series, where you listeners can ask any questions regarding Bitcoin, blockchain, beyond blockchain, cryptocurrencies, NFTs, DeFi, and metaverse. I have a question by Ravindra who asks, lately you have been covering a lot of news regarding Monetary Authority of Singapore. Do you think Singapore is better to launch crypto as a service or blockchain as a service? Now Ravindra, to be honest, this is such a brilliant question, and at this point of time, I really am not sure what answer to give you. Now, when you talk about launching a completely new crypto as a service or blockchain as a service, you need to really understand what the market is. Now, granted, news regarding Singapore is definitely positive and beneficial, and there are a lot of companies moving into Singapore, which just means that right now there is a lot of competition going on, and the same thing is with Dubai and UAE as well. Now, Dubai in particular is definitely making quite a lot of news in the world of blockchain as a service, artificial intelligence as a service, or even NFTs. That also means that along with them, which means you have to offer better services, cheaper products, and world-class quality as well. Now, what I would recommend is, if you're, let's say, a startup just trying to get into the space, rather than looking at these areas, maybe look at Saudi Arabia, and that would be an area because right now that is still a blue ocean, and over time that would actually turn out to be a red ocean. But to answer your question, I do think that Singapore is definitely leading the race so far as adoption of Bitcoin and cryptocurrency is concerned, but Dubai is definitely there. At this point of time, I really am not sure if the rules in Singapore are stricter or lenient in comparison, let's say, to Dubai or UAE, but so far as I know, the rules and regulations by Virtual Asset Regulatory Authority in Dubai and Abu Dhabi Global Market are definitely really strict and very stringent as well, but definitely a brilliant question. But what I'd really recommend you to do is Ravindra, but also have a look at the general market, and you also need to look at the general market sentiment, what the regulations are. Now listen, regulations might sound great, and they might be proactive, but they can backfire as well. Now because Dubai government is so proactive and offers support, it also means that your business cannot exist in that region until and unless you don't meet certain criteria, and I hate saying this, but in Dubai, you cannot have any privacy-preserving protocols as well. So if you go to the Virus website, there are very stringent rules regarding privacy-preserving protocols, let's say like Monero or Zcash, and there are advantages and disadvantages that you may want to consider. But I wouldn't be surprised in the next few years we get a rather much clearer picture on which direction each country is going towards that. But thank you, Ravindra, definitely an interesting question. Now, if you do need any advice or consultation, what I'd recommend you to do is drop me an email and I'll definitely go ahead and cater to your needs and expectations and accordingly give you the best advice. And that's about all, guys, in Crypto and Coffee Date from Blockchain DXP. In case if you guys have any feedback or suggestions, drop me an email to info@blockchaindxp.com. Check out my website www.blockchaindxp.com and also check out my other website area2071.com that talks everything about metaverse. And guys, if you like listening to this podcast, please click on the follow button, give it a 5-star rating and share the word across. And remember guys, Monday to Thursdays, 8 a.m. to 8:30 a.m. we have Crypto and Coffee at 8, where we cover top news and information pertaining to Bitcoin, blockchain, beyond blockchain, cryptocurrencies, NFTs, DeFi, and metaverse. And how this series of episodes under Crypto and Coffee Date works is, we usually cover some top news and information pertaining to the price of cryptocurrencies, some major breaking news, occasionally short and sweet news as well, news that has an impact in the cryptocurrency world. The other two news and information is related to Dubai, UAE, and Middle East in the world of Bitcoin, blockchain, beyond blockchain, cryptocurrencies, NFTs, DeFi, and metaverse. And what you're listening to right now is the Ask Me Anything series, where you listeners can ask any questions regarding Bitcoin, blockchain, beyond blockchain, cryptocurrencies, NFTs, DeFi, and metaverse. So thanks so much for listening and have a nice one. Bye-bye.